get a deeper dive of what's happening at the NGX. We have Kayode sharing investment analyst with Cardinal Stone Securities, joining us to break it all down. Kayode, it's good to have you join us. What's driving stocks? This negative sentiment as we speak.
All right, well, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'll say the negative sentiment that we've seen at mostly the start of this month came about as a result of two reasons. First of all, right, at the start of June, just looking at the SI performance on a year-to-date basis, we were around 60% up year to date, which was almost as high, even higher than what we saw last year, with industrial goods and even the oil and gas sector up by more than 100%, and that was for just for the fifth month of the year. So essentially, looking at it from that perspective, it becomes clear that profit taking was expected at some point. But I think what many people didn't account for was how quickly it will happen. I think for the month of June, the ASI, as of my last check, was down close to, it started the month at around 250K levels and currently at 228K levels. And I think aside from profit taking, the major issue or the straw that essentially broke the camel's back was the fact that one of the largest or most anticipated transactions in the Nigerian capital market seems to have been kickstarted with the news or information available suggesting that Dangote refinery is working on a private placement. And from information available, it looks like they're trying to raise as much as $1 billion. And just by speaking with both retailers and even some institutional funds, many people are selling their position just to provide them to ensure that they have funds available to partake in the private placement, and not just even selling for to partake in the private placement, but also considering the overall sectoral allocation of their portfolio. So it's looking like a combination of profit taking, like I mentioned, and just sector reallocation to anticipate and to participate in the refinery process.
Kayode, from information we have already, we know that private placement has already taken place, has held, and investors did move money to be able to partake in that. So are we seeing what's driving the current losses we see in the market? Is it that the IPO that is in the offing, the people are trying to move more money in preparation, those that didn't get to participate in the private placement want to be able to make sure that they participate in the IPO? Is that what we're seeing?
In terms of the IPO being the private placement being concluded, what we know is that there have been quite people were first asked to put in their bids, and funding is currently going on. So it's not a done deal as you suggested. So it's still ongoing. And you're also right on the fact that quite a number of people are also now, because they've seen this movie occur, they are now trying to be as liquid as possible ahead of the IPO. So it's really a combination of those two factors, like I said. But I can categorically say that the funding process for the private placement is still ongoing.
So talk to us about what's happening. We saw the market losing over 2 trillion naira yesterday. When do you think we'll get a reprieve from the sell-offs? Is it in August? Because we know there's a lot of sell-offs in August. Can you tell us when the market can see a rebound and come back to the levels that we're probably used to at this moment?
Okay, so in terms of the Nigerian equities, right? I think it's almost the same in terms of equities all over the world. I mean, what you need right now is a catalyst, and I like the fact that we are in the last day of the month of June, and what that means is starting from say 2 weeks, middle of next month, we are likely to start seeing earnings releases of these companies. Some of these companies delivered significantly positive earnings in the first quarter of the year. MTN, Airtel, and these are large cap bellwethers who significantly have the ability to move the market in a positive direction, right? And then when you consider the fact that it's also half year results we're expecting, we're likely to see interim dividends from the ones that we know pay, for example, the banks, GTCO and Zenith. They're likely to do interim dividend, and as well as MTN. And so that would essentially remind the market that even though there's a new kid on the block, the champions are still here to stay. So I'm really rooting for the H1 results to be the first catalyst for recovery in the market. And then I also think that once the funding for the private placement is done, there might be some capital reversals. People who were not able to participate, like you rightly said, may have to essentially put money back in some of these stocks. And then the third, and I would say the most important one for me, is the fact that the FTSE Russell classification for Nigeria, which has been hankering over the equities market for quite a number of months now, has essentially been concluded, and Nigeria has been officially upgraded from unclassified back to frontier status. And though it is likely to officially take effect at market open on Monday, 21st of September, I feel like once we feel like once that fiduciary classification is commenced fully, and then global portfolio managers start looking at the Nigerian market again, we might also see some strong positive interest in that space. But overall, I mean, this is just, in my opinion, a pullback, which I think would recover very well from, just like we have from quite a number of pullbacks in the past.
Okay, so we're looking now today, looking to your crystal ball. We already see, in terms of market breadth, more losers than gainers. But how do you see the markets closing today?
I think it's likely going to be sideways trading for the rest of the day. I mean, trades are going at comfortable levels for both buyers and sellers. MTN and the like is going below ref again. Like I said, that largely due to the overhang. I mean, I expect the market to continue to trade the way it is and likely close negatively as it is currently. I mean, same with what we saw yesterday and quite frankly the day before.
Thank you
But for
so
the rest of
much.
the year, the outlook is quite positive.
Thank you so much, Kayode, investment analyst, Cardinal Stone Securities, for sharing your insights. Very much welcome.